Enjoy the ride with Crystal Petrie, consulting, so inspiring.
Hello, my name is Crystal Petrie, and you are watching the Crystal Petrie Consulting Network. On this recap of my favorite series on TV, This Is Us, I am going to talk about Season 6, Episode 10, entitled Every Version of You. But before I get into this recap, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you will know the next time I upload another recap of This Is Us. Now, let's get into it. I'm just going to be very open and transparent. I am really going to try and get through this recap without crying and without doing the ugly cry, because that pool scene between Randall and Rebecca took me out. When I say it took me out, it took me out. I was sitting on my couch and I was crying and the tears would not stop. The fact that this show elicits such an emotional reaction from me and probably you too is a kudos, is a pat on the back to the writers of this show. Now, this show was about Randall, the last of the big three, Randall Pearson, and his relationship with his mother, Rebecca, and how that relationship has grown and matured and even broken down and been managed to come back stronger than before. The show starts out like the last 3 episodes. Jack is saying, let's hurry up and get in the pool. We don't want to be the last one in the pool on the first day of summer. And then it goes from there. And we see that Randall is an excellent swimmer, and he is above and beyond his brother and his sister and the other students in the swimming pool. And that has been Randall's MO, if you will, for his entire life. He's always been above and beyond, ahead of the class, ahead of the crowd. And it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. Then Randall and Deja get into a blown out argument because Deja wants to be with her boyfriend. And she feels like Randall is standing in the way. So she yells the unthinkable. Randall says, you're my daughter and I can't make these decisions. And Deja says the unthinkable. You are not my father. I'm just some girl you took from her mother. Heartbreaking. And I feel like Deja has been wanting to say that. And she just never had the opportunity to say it until now. But Randall didn't let it affect him. At least that's how it appeared. So Randall hops in his car. He's going after Deja. And Rebecca says, I'm coming with you. And Randall then says, don't you think you should run it by Kate since she's making all of the tough decisions now? And again, I feel like Randall has been wanting to say that to Rebecca since they had the table talk. And Rebecca, like Randall, just let it go, and it did not seem to affect her. So they take a road trip to Boston to go and get Deja. But the road trip leads to revelations, it leads to understanding, it leads to remember the time and remember this time. It was a beautiful moment with just Rebecca and Randall. And one thing I love is a mother's love for her son and a son's love for his mother. And you can see that on the TV and you can feel it in your heart. And Rebecca's love for Randall has always been awe-inspiring. She has gotten Randall and understood Randall when no one else did. She has loved Randall past his hurts, his outbursts, his anxiety. She has loved Randall past his skin color. And Randall has loved his mother through heartbreak, unimaginable heartbreak when Jack died. He has loved his mother even when Jack was alive. He has loved his mother, and he has been the foundation, not just for Rebecca, but for the entire family. He has carried that family on his back when he was a child up into when he was an adult. And he has done so with grace and dignity and mercy. And it's more than anyone could ask of a child or of an adult. And Rebecca was big enough to acknowledge that she asked way too much of Randall as a child. And he willingly gave. And she acknowledged that she should not have depended on him so much and counted on him so much as a child. And that is why she said, and I wondered why she didn't pick Randall to be the one to make all the decisions if she couldn't and Miguel couldn't. Why did she pick Randall? In this episode, she lets us know she knew that Randall would move heaven and earth to keep her alive, to make sure that she was well, that he would stop everything in his life and in the life of his family, his wife, his children, for his mother, Rebecca. When I tell you the love of a mother and son is unbreakable. She knew Randall would do it, and she did not want to continue to hold her son back. She did not want to continue to ask so much of Randall, even during this time. So she was so unselfish when it came to Randall that it took me out. It broke me down. So much so that Rebecca would remove herself out of the equation and allow for Randall to be Randall. To allow Randall to be greatness personified, as he has always been. As I wrap up this recap, I just want to give a huge kudos to the writers of this episode, Every Version of You. And kudos to Justin Hartley, also known as Kevin, for directing such an amazing episode and really bringing the words off the paper into life and into my heart. This episode really was every version of Randall. And as I say goodbye, but before you say goodbye, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel so you will know when I upload another recap for This Is Us.
Oh.